me know when you guys want to start.
Yes, ma'am, we are starting now. Yes, we are starting now.
Oh.
Yeah. So Charles Bukowski once quoted, "We all are the museums of a fear mind, but the one who surpasses this fear wall of fear lives his life." A very good evening to one and all present here. Myself, Tanvi from Diva Club, welcomes you all. Today, on our pitch, we have this fearless girl, Miss Ritika Laheri, a woman motorcycle coach. I have written a letter for you, ma'am, so I am going to read out that. Dear Ritika, as your name symbolizes the flowing river, undoubtedly you are that. A ordinary girl who chooses her own way to live her life extraordinary. A head of Infant Riders, which is a travel company and helps all the women out there to have their dreamy expedition of infant bikes. A rider, a traveler, a coach, a dancer, a curly hair girl, and many more adjectives to add her personality. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the courageous, our TED Talker in our series of Leaders in Conversation, the talented and versatile Miss Ritika Laheri. Hello, ma'am. I welcome you all from our table.
Thank you so much, Tanvi. I am really honored to be on your show, and thank you for such a lovely letter that you've written. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a great, ma'am. So let's not waste the time and start the bullets of questionnaires.
Sure, please.
Yeah, so let's get some nostalgic things, ma'am. Tell us more about your schooling things that were from you did your schooling and college life.
So, since schooling, I was not that studious as a student, I would say. But yeah, definitely more into sports. So, I was into running, athletics, I was into volleyball, basketball, and everything. So, more of a sports person kind of a thing. So all my friends know me as a tomboy. So, that's how they used to define me because I used to have short curly hair. And that was the major thing, I think. And during my school, I remember I was in my 10th standard, and that's was the time my father bought the first time a Splendor, Hero Honda Splendor,
Yeah,
because that was the only bike during that time, I think 2003. So yeah, that was the time when the bike was just being launched, like very newly. And before that, I had started learning when I was in my standard, approximately 10 years of age. Yeah. So my father's friend, they had bikes, so I used to sit behind them, try to understand everything. So yeah, so the major thing is I knew how to ride a cycle, and I used to just take my cycle and get over. And then from a journey to moving from a cycle to a completely new machine, which was supposed to be handled in a very different way. Cycle is just that you're balancing and your legs are working. But in a bike, it's not like that. You need a lot of concentration and a lot of things. Now I understand being a motorcycle coach about the very minor things, which I definitely didn't learn when I started riding. Because during our age, there was no coach, no nothing. So people are lucky right now, I would say, that you have women also to teach women how to ride. Earlier, this was not the scenario. More of male used to try to teach women, and women used to be not comfortable. One used to be that comfort that they used to not share with the men, maybe in their house or in their friend circle, I would say. And also the mindset of guys used to be like, bike सीख के करेगी क्या, scooty सीख लेना, bike ही क्यों सीख? As long as your purpose of going from point A to point B is solved. It doesn't matter what machine are you riding, and that's how the thinking was at that time. But right now, things have changed drastically. I would say, like I see today's kid, I feel they are very privileged. They are getting what they really need, like from mobile phones to knowing how to ride a bike, and everything is just there. You just need a one click, and you get whatever you want to learn. So
yeah.
yeah, that's an advantage.
Yeah, it means that riding bike is your, it means बचपन का passion ऐसे बोलते वैसे ही है.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember when I joined college in 11th. So, of course, that time no license, no nothing. I would say please don't try doing this thing. I don't really recommend. But yeah, being too young and too much josh of getting the new bike in hand. My father used to not be in town, so I had got a duplicate key made of the bike. And I should just take it to my college, my 11th, my 12th. And my friends used to be assumed like, what is happening? Like, you are getting a bike, हम लड़के हो के हम bike नहीं लेके आ सकते हैं. And you being a girl, you're getting the advantage. I said, listen, my dad doesn't know that I've got a bike. The day he knows, I know what exactly gonna happen. And yeah, the day he came to know that I've been going on the bike to college and all, so I don't know what happened. The chabi only disappeared from my house. And no guy closer by my area was not ready to even make a duplicate key because my dad has made sure that I don't get any duplicate.
So
So
your
yeah, that's
choice was high from that time only.
yeah, very badly. But yeah, but the fun riding a Splendor, college is 2004, 2005, 20 रुपए का पॉकेट मनी मिलता था. उसमें पेट्रोल भी मैनेज करना है, सब कुछ मैनेज करना है. Yeah, but I have been caught by cops a couple of times. Like they appreciate you riding a bike, but of course they don't like that you riding without a license. And initial days, I was very happy of just starting on the bike, not wearing helmet because तभी helmet इतना जरूरी नहीं लगता था. But yeah, right now it's super fun. Yeah, but now I realize with my time that I've spent in riding that wearing gears is the most important thing that can only save your life in case of any major accident.
Yeah. Sorry, ma'am, it was a network issue.
Yeah.
Let's come to your place of course. That's your passion about riding bikes. Today we are going to talk more about it. So tell us, then what was that moment where you decided that yes, I want to be the full-time rider. I want to do this. I just loving it. So what was that moment for you?
So I remember, so I have flew as a cabin crew in charge for 9 years in airlines. And when you talk about riding, riding is a completely raw passion. Like going out in dust and everything, getting all stained and everything with grease and everything. It's not something that most of the people really like going through. But yeah, for me, it was a drastic step from moving from an air hostess, a career which is very glamorous, a lot of money that's involved in it. I remember 2019 when I had quit my airline job. I was supposed to join any other airline, and so the company that I currently work with is an Enfield Riders. That's the company set by Mr. Bijit Gujral, who is the owner of the company. And I had applied with him in 2015 as well. However, he wanted me to work in Bangalore at that moment, and I was really not keen on leaving Mumbai and going anywhere. So yeah, 2019, 2020, I got the opportunity to finally join him. And first, I still remember my first camp was pretty good because I had a supportive coach along with me who was already working with them for 10 years. Yeah, so when I started as, I was not pretty sure, and none of my friends or my family, like, of course, my mom was very happy with what I was doing, and so was my father. But my other relatives, my other friend circle, they are like, what have you selected? Like, I understand from airline, you've directly switched to completely, that's very different, and that's very raw. I said, yeah, but that's something which I've been enjoying throughout my life. Like, I've been on the bike since I don't even remember now. I said I started learning at a very young age. Since then, I always tried my hands on all the bikes that I could get hold of. So yeah, every time I get a new bike, I definitely have 1% of fear. Like, how could I manage it? How could I handle it? Like I know I can do it, but still that 1% is still there with me. Uh, yeah, from that moment when I did my first camp and I saw the batch which I did, I saw the amount of happiness those women have gone through with me telling them what exactly I have been doing since years. Like, I told them exactly how to hold and handle. And these are very minute things. When somebody of your friend circle, those who teach you, they really don't mention about this, right? But when you become a coach, you try to make the client's life simpler as much as you can. So yeah, that was the moment. I'm like, and the best part is like being a woman motorcycle coach. I meet women of like all age group after 18. So I always say my youngest client, which I've taught, was 67 years old lady who is in Bangalore. And looking at her being so enthusiastic, I was like, dude, if she can do it at that her age, I think nothing is impossible. So and I met a
That
lot of
was
different people. Sorry.
that was maybe the moment you felt that yes, I am on the right edge and doing
I
this.
absolutely like every batch that I come across, I come women from different field of life. Somebody being a doctor, somebody being a pilot, somebody who has his own company, who is working in an MNC. But eventually, somewhere down the line, their goals are very clear. Like some people want to just tick off their bucket list, and some people really want to get independent on their self. Like so, once when you sit on the bike, it's you and the machine that's gonna you have to take care of, and there's nobody else who's gonna ride it for you. And I always say that's how life is. It's your life. You have to ride it for yourself. Nobody else is gonna ride it. So that's very simple about it.
Yeah, but this is the field where it means males are more passionate about riding the bikes. But being a woman, you are just doing this and teaching many more women to have their expeditions. So, do you face any type of obstacle while doing this job?
Uh, I don't really see an obstacle, but yes. So when I initially started into this profession of a woman motorcycle coach, I had a lot of friends. So I got mixed emotions from everybody. Like some were very happy, some were really like, okay, fine, okay. And the moment when these people came to know, so if you try to learn the scooty or an Activa, somebody's not going to sit behind you and teach you. So when I am teaching a client, I take the risk of my life, sitting behind of the client, holding on to the handle and still helping her through navigate and balance it. So my friends were very freaked out. They are like, पीछे बैठने का risk कौन लेता है जिसको कुछ भी नहीं आता है? You taking the risk of sitting behind and teaching? I said, yeah, do. Sometimes that risk is very important. Sometimes that push to some female is very important. Like I had clients, those who know how to write, like after me teaching them for an hour or two, because they are so confident they can write it, but they still need my support at some moment. And I used to be like, listen, you know what, I'm not coming with you double seat. They're like, no, no, ma'am, you have to come. And I'm like, acha, okay, मैं बाजू में भागती हूँ. And I should just leave them. And they think I am running behind them and I'm not there also. And they have no realization about it. And that's a super fun thing. But yeah, not much obstacle. Yeah. Right now, I think I am blessed that I have a lot of male friends who have been supportive towards my profession. Very much. They are very happy with what I do.
Yeah, it means being woman, I realize that we need that spark. Someone should motivate us. Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. Everything will be good. Yeah, and you are doing that for many women. That's great.
Yeah. So thank you so much. But yeah, so that's what I would say. Instead of going and finding the spark outside, why don't you become the sparks for yourself? Start talking to yourself, motivate yourself, because see, at the end of the day, you know what will motivate you the most. So talk that thing to yourself in front of the mirror. Tell yourself, you know, when you can. There have been situations in my life where I realized, you know, I was looking out for motivation outside, and then I realized how long am I going to search something outside. So that's the time when I started building up this thing. When I have something really very big coming and I'm very nervous, I just go stand in front of the mirror, start talking to myself, you know, I have to do it, do it. That's it. So yeah, that's the
Yeah,
best thing I would say to do it.
yeah, there's one poem which tells that there are two lives. The second begins when you realize you have only one. That's that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you are, it means teaching women out there. So any instance you want to share with us? Like you felt glad that you are teaching this woman. Any
So
instance you want to share?
yeah, definitely. So I'll tell you, I still remember there are like not one, but a lot of them because I've trained over a lot of women already within 2 years. So I remember this instant. There was this female who had come to us, and she was already very let down by her family and with her children, telling her that you know what, you can't do it. आप घर पे बैठो और हल्दी का दूध बनाओ सिर्फ और हम लोग को पिलाओ. And I looked at her. I'm like, dude, if I tell this to my mother, she'll slap me. I said, how could you even take this? So she's like, no, no, my husband thinks that I really can't do anything. And looking at her, my children have started doing it. And I was very taken aback. I said, dude, no, no, you have to do it. After the first or second round, she fell down. And yeah, so she was completely shattered and she started crying and everything. And then I told her, I said, see, it's your choice. You prove them right or prove them wrong. It is just you who's going to make that decision. So she's like, no, but then I really can't do it. I said, see, I'm not telling you you can do it overnight, but we can still try. And I don't want you to give up. I understand that, you know, you've already lost hope, but try doing it. And yeah, by the end of the second day, she was riding by herself. Like, so I told her, I said, why don't you call your husband and your children here to watch what are you doing? And you're not making any haldi ka doodh for them. So yeah, that was the time I really had a very good thing. And yeah, I also have few celebrity clients that we had. So one of them was Ridhima Pandit. So she's a celebrity and actress. And apart from that, we had Kruti Mahesh. So she's the choreographer for the new Toleda song that's there.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So she was one of our clients. Yeah, but it's super fun to work with celebrities also, yeah. Like sometimes you look at them in front of a screen or a camera, it's very different. When you meet these people personally, they're completely different because I had super fun with both of them.
Okay, there is some misconceptions that these actors know they are so egoistic and all that, but so they are maybe not. They are. It means when you
See,
work with them,
that's
it feels so great.
correct. So absolutely, that's what I'm saying. A person, how do you make that first interaction or the conversation that you strike with that person? How comfortable you are with that person? Things gonna be good. Yeah, definitely. If you throw an ego around, then there is always coming back to you.
True. For this, who is your inspiration? We want to know that.
Uh, Sorry, my inspiration.
Yeah, for it means you are teaching women and you are riding bikes. For this, who is your inspiration yet? From where did you feel that yes, this is my inspiration. I want to do like this.
So inspiration, not really, I would say, but I remember like since my childhood, I never had any women coming and teaching me what to do, what not to do, and how to ride and all. And then I was like, dude, so I always have this very competitive feeling within me, like अगर वो लड़का कर सकता है तो लड़की तो कर ही सकती है. I
Yes.
used to feel that kind of a person. And when I knew that there's this company who've been doing this for almost like 10 years into this, I was like, you know what, let's not try. Go ahead and no doubt I had some severe, like I had one or two crashes during my training. I fell down, I injured myself, but that didn't stop me. Like that never ever bothered my passion and all. Yeah. So inspiration I did, I told you, I don't look out for it outside. I always challenge myself. And I think that's the best thing I can do.
Yeah, true that. I just want to know that till now, how many distance you had covered riding the bikes, and it means what's your dream to travel that much distance? Any
Okay.
bucket list you have?
So the recent travel which I done was me and one of my friend. We were on a bike. So we had completed Rajasthan, Jaipur to Mumbai in a day. So basically completed in 12 hours, 30 minutes or approximately 12 or 45 minutes. So we were trying to attempt for a Limca Book of Records, but definitely missed it by a few minutes here or there. Also, we didn't take much breaks because we were really trying to do it hard. So yeah, that's the maximum I think, and it's almost more than 700 approximately odd kilometers. So
Oh,
yeah, bucket list which I really want to do in. So in India, if you ask me, I want to be close by to the Seven Sisters, which I really want plan to do it in the Northeast. And then I want to do is Tibet. So Tibet has been on my bucket list since years. So yeah, I'm planning, looking forward to do it.
great. It's great. It means when you are riding bikes or when you are traveling so many distances, there sometimes there may be some weather conditions like raining or so many hot. So how did you manage that through the this?
Uh, so I remember one of my very weird ride was when I had gone to Rider Mania 2017 or 2018, I think that was the Rider Mania I'd gone. And then I decided to leave from Goa in the morning or afternoon. Afternoon, I left Goa. By the time I could reach Satara, it was chilly, as in chilly. I had worn my riding jacket. I wore all the jackets possibly I could, like with the liners and everything, and I was still feeling very cold. Like I couldn't manage to, get over that cold and just ride. And that was the time I think I had given up on, riding at that moment. I decided to take a halt. Let's not stress it out, and I have taken that hold at that moment. Apart from that, rainy season is something which I really love riding. It's okay to get wet as long as you fully covered in your gears and everything. So I love rainy seasons. It's much more preferable, that I say. because the weather is nice, the roads are pretty clean. Still, I know. But yeah, it's fun. So not much of issue if you know exactly which riding gear to use it, how to use it correctly. So yeah, it's not an issue.
Yeah. You move from one state to another, then meet new peoples. And what type of experiences do you feel during this time? It means sometimes people are different in the north, sometimes they are different in the south. How you manage this language difference
So
or the people difference?
I would say my major challenge that I faced is in Bangalore. Having like Bangalore people still they talk English, Hindi, not really their first language. So English is still okay, but not everybody talks English. And then if I would say is Chennai, it's a huge communication gap that you have. And yeah, so that was really tough for me at that time because I was not able to communicate very basic things. Then I had to find a local, like any local rider or something, and then ask him to translate and help me out the situation. But when I moved to Kashmir and all for my rides, so my Royal Enfield ad which I did was in Kashmir. And during that time, me riding in those ghats and all, I came across a lot of mixed cultures and a lot of people that I met across. Some people were really happy to see. And the locals which I met in Kashmir, I think that was in, I don't remember, in Gulmarg. Yes, I met a lot of people in Gulmarg. And the major thing was Gurez Valley, that's in Kashmir. That's something which is very beautiful, very limited area and very less of population, like it's very minimal. So that time I really sat with those uncles there, typical old Kashmiri uncles, sitting and having a conversation with them. So they were telling me that, how Gurez has been for so many years because half of the people don't even know where is Gurez. And I was one of the half of the people who didn't know where Gurez, whether it even existed. Like, so, but when I visited that, it's beautiful. Like, it's really beautiful. So those uncles were telling me that, because of the war and everything, so normally there are a lot of bombarding and everything that happened on Gurez, being the last almost towards Pakistan border. So these guys want us, like people from all over the India, to come there, see how beautiful the place is. So they were inviting tourism definitely. So yeah, so people, if you think that you all want to go to Manali, there are much better places which you really need to explore. Something which are very untouched and very beautiful in nature, where you don't find any littering anywhere. So yeah.
Yeah. Any solo trip you had done through this?
Solo trip. So I am not a very solo kind of a person. I'll be very honest. I do have a riding partner with whom I normally ride with, but not really solo trips. I think I've done, yeah. So one solo trip was not a solo definitely, but the Goa one which I did was a solo trip kind of, which I
Okay, so
decided to stay back and then go alone.
you are extrovert type of a girl, we can say.
Sorry?
You are extrovert type of a girl, we can say,
Yeah, very much.
who loves people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, any messages for people who are passionate like you?
I wouldn't say everybody has their own fears. People want to learn motorcycle, they want to get out from their house, go on tours and everything. But definitely, everybody have their own if and buts, like because of job, because of everything. Things will definitely hold you back. But when you make a decision of leaving everything behind, sitting on that motorcycle, enjoying the entire thing, it's a very different feeling. And I always say, do something, so make your job your passion and you will love it. So that's how when I was flying, I used to love it. But that was not my passion, I would honestly say. Biking definitely my passion and that's what I'm doing right now. It's nothing like it. I'm very happy about it. So go for it like whatever you love to do.
In the
And
start,
yeah,
you
definitely.
yeah.
Right.
At the start, you said that your parents supported you throughout this. So, what type of support was that? It was the mental one, emotional, or finance one, or you were
Uh,
looking for?
so finance was never required because I still don't have my own bike because I'm not very good with my finances. So yeah, I never wanted to buy a bike with somebody else's money, even if they are my parents. I want to buy my own bike. I'm still on the process of buying my own bike. Um, yeah, so basically, I would say my mom, she has been very supportive. supportive hasn't been my pillion rider of me taking the keys from home, going out for rides with me when I was in 11, 12. So that's how she has supported me.
Is she
And
sit behind you when you were riding?
yeah, yeah, that's how her major support was required to me.
Yeah, because
So,
Indian moms are having that fear of not sitting back.
so that why I was very lucky that she never got feared of anything because she trusted me. Like when I used to be on the bike, she's 100% sure that she's gonna ride safe. So that's one thing. Apart from that, yeah, a lot of people, those who have been commenting on what do I do as a profession, what have I been doing into it, because not so the major thing that I used to face across biking being mostly a male gender thing. When I got into it, so I used to definitely have a lot of male friends. And my parents were very cool about it, but definitely not the other people seeing around me with only hanging around with guys, that too only bikes. So my mom used to be like, it's all cool. Till the time she exactly know what she's doing and she can take care of herself, I am all okay. People will think in 10 different things. So let's just ignore it. And that's the way she's always taught me to be. And one statement I always got from my mom telling the other people, if one girl is roaming with 10 guys, all 10 are not going to be a boyfriend, dude. Like that is not what forward thinking goes all across. So understand that reality. So yeah, but then she's always been supportive and never bothered about, nagging me all the time, studies, why are you on the bike? You will get hurt, you will get this and that. So yeah, that way I feel blessed.
You are too lucky to have the school parents.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so our audiences are having some questions for you, so I'm gonna ask it that.
So please.
So, first one is from the Neha Tonpe. So she is asking that where do you see your career in the next 5 years as a writer?
As a writer, okay. I see myself. So in Entry Riders, the company I'm working with right now, I am just trying to grow myself every single day, trying to do my best. So 5 years down the line, I think I would be still in that company. I don't want to quit that company because that company has given me a lot. When I didn't have a job, I would agree to it. So that's always been there. And my boss has definitely been very supportive to everything that I've been doing. So on a very higher level, but definitely I am gonna build a community only for women riding, where we only gonna tell uh, other women how to ride, inspire more and more women into getting into riding, understanding why you want to really ride and enjoying every bit of it. So
So,
yeah.
continuing to your statement, you said that you wanna build women's rights, especially, but why women's only? That what
Um,
was the thought behind that?
I'm not, okay, so I'll tell you. I am not saying I'm not a feminist, but I am a feminist who believes that men also have their chances and they have got their chances already. So it's time that women have their chances right now and build a community completely only for women. Because nowadays we do have, biking women communities and everything. We do have it, but not on a larger scale. Mostly larger scales are males. So
Yeah,
that's something which I really want to change. Yeah.
that's a great thought. So, second question is from Prerna Vagmari, and she is asking that what are the necessary things that you need to know while selecting any good bike?
Uh, Okay, while selecting a good bike, ask the purpose of you buying the bike. Like, why do you want a bike? You want a city commute, like you want just gonna be roaming around in the city to just point A to point B, or you want to enjoy the pleasure that you will get on riding when you get out from Mumbai, Pune, wherever it is. Maybe if you decide to go on long rides, that's the first thing I would say is my purpose. I have to decide. So if I decide to buy a bike, the first thing I will decide is like I want a bike which I can use this in the city as well for a normal day-to-day commute as well. But also if I need to take it out for a longer ride, I would be very comfortable. So that's one thing. Apart from that, what is my budget? That is very important. So if you think 150 cc of bike can solve the purpose of you riding, then why go for something that's very higher in range, also a very costlier on your budget also. So
Yeah.
that's how it works. That I would say. And then see, there are always brands. You have the best of brands available. You have Royal Enfield. you have Java, you have BMW, you have Drive. Everything is just there, but spend it very wisely. Like use it when it's required. Just don't unnecessarily buy the bikes and everything. But yeah, I would say majority is the purpose that you need the bike.
Yeah. Which is your favorite bike then?
So my favorite bike, I still have and still been on the topmost is like Royal Enfield Himalayan. So that's
Okay.
still my best ride. But I'm still want to try my hands on the KTM 790 adventure bike. So that's
Wow,
what I would check.
that's great. So next question is, how do you motivate girls to ride? It means sometimes they may be fear about riding the bike, but how you manage to motivate them?
So I tell you, when I have a lot of clients, when we have those introduction session at the start of a camp. So when I ask them like why you want to learn and everything, and after them, suddenly the question is, बहुत भारी है bike, हम लोग तो उठा भी नहीं पाएंगे. I said, dude, chill. I said that's a myth that people have put in your mind. If you do things correctly with the correct technique, everything is possible. There's nothing impossible. It's just that you have to pick up the right technique for yourself. And yeah, so this is a major question that how am I going to handle so much of weight? And then if I fall down, what will happen to me? Will I get scratches and all that? So sometime when I have this, I, sit behind the client and I just keep on talking to them non-stop and keep them telling, no, you all are doing it, you all is very good. And after they have the crash and all, I just call them and I have a one-on-one chat with them. And I ask them, I said, what happened? There is something because what happened is a little of fear or stress in your body is very easily shown in your body posture when you sit on the bike. Your body becomes very stiff, and that's not the time you decide to ride. So, yeah, when I speak to them, they tell us, no, we're very scared about holding the handle. What if we fall down? And I'm like, dude, we're giving you all the gears and everything. You're not going to fall down. It's just your mindset that's blocking you. I talk so much and I just behind their life so much that they are like, forget it. You know what? We'll do it instead of listening to so much. We'll do it.
Okay, so that's so great. I was just scrolling your Instagram before coming here. So I saw that one time you are a Maharashtrian typical girl, and on the other, you are like a hero girl who is wearing that helmet, riding the bike. How the transition possible for you?
So I am somebody who still believe in a lot. As a person, I am very open-minded, very liberal when it comes to my thought process. For me, I will never think about a gender the person is when I'm talking to. For me, what he talks, it's the major thing, and how comfortable he gets me. That's important. But still, I am so much rooted to my Maharashtrian things. My mother being a Maharashtrian, I'm still rooted so much towards it. Like that's something which I really can't give up. Like that helmet thing is everything very good. I love it. It's my passion for it. But when I want to wear a sari, I will wear it. It's like no two
Yeah,
ways.
I saw your pictures. That's are too cute and beautiful, I must
Like
say. Yeah, one another question from Rohit Nair is asking, which bike are you currently riding and which bike do you see to ride through long distances?
okay, so which bike I am currently riding? Currently, the bike which I don't have a bike definitely. If I need it, I have a word with Ani. So it's a 350 Classic, the new one, J1 series that I ride normally. And something which I look for a longer rides, I would say a Himalayan is definitely yes, or a 350 Classic would, but entirely depends on the modification which I do. But yes, a Himalayan is very good for a long distance. Apart from that, the old 350 standard is also a nice bike, I would say. Long distance bike, yeah, 350s are good. I really like.
It means, is there some categorization or what? It means if you want to bike for a local or you want to go for the
No,
distance.
entirely to see it depends. If I decide to go towards a hilly region where the terrain is gonna be like really rough and everything, then I would definitely pick up a Himalayan. But at the same time, if I know it's just gonna be smooth roads and everything, then I would pick up a 350. That's how it is. Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you. I was just asking that it means riding bike, going on the road, it's too dangerous sometimes. What type of safety measures do you follow?
Um, Before even going for a ride, first thing I need to do is check my entire bike, like do a proper servicing of the bike and everything, figure out. Second, I would say, according to my safety, the gear that I'm going to use, like cleaning your basic helmet, like people think a normal helmet is okay, but no, of course not. So I recommend something which has a good cushioning inside, also something which is a dot and ace certified because the locking is very different. So in case of an impact, also the lock doesn't go off. So it's still protecting your head. Uh, Gears, I would say, that's more important. Like a good normal riding jacket, a riding pant, a riding shoes. Yes, so that's very important.
Great. So I can say that you had ride from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. So what's your favorite food from these two ends? It means any specific food you love to eat when you
Uh,
are riding,
Sorry, I
or
didn't get
is
your
it
question.
Maggie all-time favorite? It
Sorry.
means yeah. As you were riding from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, we can say that. What's your favorite food you love to eat always about? It means it can be Maggie or something like that.
That's very tricky question. I would say, yeah, Maggie and idli has been my all-time favorite.
Maggie is favorite. Okay. Okay, so one another question from our public. So Divya Pawar is asking, did biking help you in your personal growth? If yes, in what ways?
Uh, yes, it has helped me a lot in my personal growth. Uh, I became more confident person. I am very vocal about my emotions and my feeling, what exactly I feel, and what exactly I want to convey. I'm very vocal about it. So there's nothing that will be very different. Like whatever is on my mind is just right in front of you. Personal growth, it helped me a lot with my patience level. I always had been issues with my patience level, getting angry very easily. But since the time I've gone into like a professional riding into teaching and something, the only thing that's more important apart from teaching is your patience level. Like you can't
Yeah,
lose it at any given point. So
yeah.
that's the one thing which I've been developed from a very long time, and that's what my mom is very happy about that I've got good patience now, which I didn't have earlier.
Okay, that's great. Being a rider, what is the biggest challenge you faced and how you overcome it?
Biggest challenge that I always face are the idiots on the road, those who ride without looking left, right, and center. So other riders, those who don't really care about anybody else's life, that bother me most. And when I'm going for long rides, the only thing that sometimes comes in my mind is like, what if somebody just comes in front of your car or like in riding and all? Because there are people, like I've seen on highways when I'm riding, like just on the divider, somebody's just trying to peep out and check on the highway the car is coming. And I've literally freaked out. So that's one thing that's very scary. And apart from that, what did you ask?
Yeah, it means what type of challenge you have overcome
So
this
yeah,
through
this is the
this.
one challenge that I have. So I really be very careful when I'm riding. That's major thing. Secondly, not getting into any uh, you know fights with anybody or verbal anything because when a woman is riding, there are a lot of people those who will love it and there are a lot of people who hate it.
Yeah.
It's never the same ratio that you will ever see. It's always one has to be the higher of the other. So yeah, so I still remember recently, not recently, last year, there was somebody who was riding towards the south. The people didn't realize it was women who was riding. They got into an argument and it became very ugly. Getting into arguments with local is a complete no because first you don't know their language. Second, it will be very difficult for you to even explain that person what's in happened. So it's better not to get into an argument. If you really feel that's what's happening is not good, go to a local police station and file a complaint. But don't try to be that, you know what, I can handle it all by myself. You don't know. You are in a very different city. You don't know how the city works. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
good.
one thing I would say.
Yeah. It means, did you have any plans to, it means ride bike all over the world? To have a
Yeah,
road trip on the
yeah.
world
But
side.
I don't have a road trip plan. Like I want to do it definitely, but I don't have a plan kind of. Because I remember I had gone to Thailand. From there also, I rented a bike and I was roaming. Like every location I've gone, I've rented a bike and I've been roaming. I don't like to take the local commute system and all. But yeah, it's a good thought. I'm gonna really fix about it. I want to do a long road trip on my bike.
Great. That's really great. So one another question, that what are the necessary things you always carry while riding on the bike? It means apart from your safety devices, what any other things you carry about? Means too
So
cautious to
hydration.
carry.
I think hydration bag is very important that I would carry. Apart from that, if it's a long ride, a basic toolkit is very important. You're not gonna find mechanics anywhere and everywhere. So that's one thing. And yeah, that's it. I don't think much. And anything that's very important to me to carry, I would say, extra bungee cord, which I normally carry on the bike, in case if there is extra luggage that I decide to pick up from anywhere. So yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, that's it.
Great. So being a rider, sometimes you may have made some mistakes in your life. And what was that mistakes and how you overcome from it or how you learn from that? That I should not repeat that things.
I remember once I was on my bike, that was still a Splendor, and I was riding back to my home, and so there was somebody else on another bike. He kept on, chasing me and raving next to me, and I really got very hyper to it, and I really gave it in that I literally had a race along with him, and I was really out of my mind the way I was riding it. It was a complete rash riding that I would call. And once when I reached below my house, I was like, what was I racing for? Like at the end of the day, I had to come home this way or that way. I was just coming home. And then I just went back home and I was just thinking the entire route that I've taken and the way I was riding. And I decided I'm never doing a rash riding ever. No matter it's okay if I'm late or anybody try to, really pump me up by, raving and doing all these things. I'm still not doing it for sure.
Yeah, true that.
So that's one thing I
So
learned.
yeah. So have you? It means we should not remember whatever the bad memories, but it was any time in your life that you faced some accident or something, and it was really hurtful for you.
Hurtful, yeah, like I remember. And I don't know, like hurtful to work incident which I remember once when I was sitting at the pillion on my own Splendor. Like one of my friend, he decided to ride that Splendor, and I don't know what went through. I said, okay, ride, because I was like tender, ye kya hi girenge. So I was in that zone, and at a speed of 20, he banged into the rickshaw. I had fallen down, and I was just in my last year of my practical exams in my TY. And just before my physics practical, I have been met with an accident with stitches on my elbows and my entire face is swollen, bruises and everything. So that was the major accident I would have ever come across. And that was like me not riding and somebody else putting me into that space. And apart from this, when I normally do trails and all, so Royal Enfield, the last trail which I had done, so that time after a while I was so exhausted that I completed the trail. I lost my balance and I just left the bike. I also fell with the bike and then I got a hurt of my silencer on a like on my ankle and that was exactly near my bone. So yeah, so that was a very terrible thing that I went through. Otherwise, not really touched with no major accident.
But that hurt things, but doesn't made you that I'll skip this, I'll not ride this. You were passionate always about riding.
Sorry.
It means though you were hurt sometimes or you may face accidents, but you will never give up your dreams.
Yeah, if you see the silencer marks of that I have on my right ankle, they are like 4 or 5 silencer marks. Two are by myself, which I've got it by my mistake, and the other three are given by my client as a token of love while teaching me. So that's how it is.
Yeah, and that's really great.
Just
So
give me a
what?
minute. Just give me a minute, honey.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll just switch on the lights.
yeah.
Yeah, tell me. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Through this platform of our leaders in conversation, what message you want to give to all the women out there?
I would always say to every woman that I come across, one that I say is like stop looking out for motivation outside yourself. You can be your own motivation. That's very, very important in this life because everybody is busy doing what they want to do. So and you exactly know how good your goals are and how to get through those goals. So yeah, please motivate yourself. Apart from that, I would say is start believing in yourself. Even if people don't believe in you, please believe in yourself. That's very important. Because a lot of people you come across will never believe in your ideas, your dreams, and everything as much as you would believe in. So
Yeah.
that's very important. So yeah, that's the message I would say.
Everything lies within ourselves.
Absolutely.
So, going more to this, any habits? It means apart from riding, what are your habits you want to share with us?
Habits, habits. So I like dancing. That's one thing. I love going on camping. Uh,
Okay. So,
yeah,
have
habits.
you done any campaigns or something? Means,
So yeah, so one of my campaigns, not a campaign something, but when I was in my college, I remember I used to work for Cancer Aid Foundation in Bhaikala. So that was this one campaign which I have done at that moment. And apart from, I'm not really very fan of doing campaigns and all because I believe you do a campaign, people will remember it for a day or two, and then everything is just gone.
yeah.
So I think every day is a very new day. Just decide what you want to do today, and that's how your goal is.
True. So we are at the end of our session. So at the end, you just want some highlights to tell our audience.
I would say that nothing is easy in life. I have come to this stage today, being at the age of 34. I have gone through all the ups and downs in my life, and I see, biking. It is if you ride for your passion, nothing like it. But if you decide to make it a full-time career, sports and everything, remember, uh, you have to really be financially a lot of independent if it's going to be a full-time profession. If you really want to start riding on the tracks and everything, that's I will say apart from this. Uh, yes, nothing else, yeah. I don't have much to say because I've been just talking. And this side, like I do definitely tell a lot of viewers of me also that I am always available. Like you guys can definitely share my Instagram ID. If you really want to go ahead, learn a bike, and if you think you have it in you, but you're really not sure about it, please go ahead and have a contact with me. We can really have a one-on-one chat. I can tell you exactly how have I overcome this a lot because every person I told you has their own fears. I had my own fear. Every time I used to ride a new bike, I had my own fears. What if I can't handle this machine? Because every time the new bike I used to pick up was definitely heavier than the previous one.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the challenge that I was coming across. But I never stopped believing in myself. I used to just go off to bed and I used to say, you know what, you can do it. And that's very important. I think.
I'm sure that many girls are going to approach you after this session.
Please do that. Please do that.
So let's conclude these sessions. At the end, I just want to say that happiness lies in ourselves, and those who dare to choose his life will win his life. So, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here. It's great meeting you, and it means knowing all about your riding skills. And I'm sure I'm also going to be your student for riding.
Please go ahead and do that. Definitely.
Yeah, I thank. Yeah,
I would just want to say thank you to all of you girls. You girls are doing a wonderful job of getting a lot of people on this platform. You still are very young, and please go ahead, explore your life. Try something which really scares you, fears you. Try doing it, and it's a good initiative that you girls have started. So thank you so much for inviting me on this session.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. From this, I said that the session is concluded. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am.